Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Former President Donald Trump lashing out after his historic arraignment in Miami. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with his message to supporters at his private club in New Jersey.
And let's look out there with live cam. Even though it's 4:30 in the morning, it's already super humid out there. We're looking at 79 degrees to start your day. We're going to be checking in with Mike what we can expect for today and the rest of the week.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. So yesterday we talked about the weather pretty much the whole day. Did
Yes.
you end up making it outdoors after work?
I did go for a run, but
Good for you. I just round of applause.
I'm just taking advantage of the cloud cover because I know that may not be the case every day. Yeah.
Right. We are going to keep cloud cover around. We've all day today, pretty much.
I got to ask that. Did you go for a run with Stephanie?
No. Even walking to the car was tough yesterday, but and that did a couple of things. Obviously, it held temperatures down a little bit, some of those clouds, but then it acted like that thick, wet blanket on top of us and really held that humidity in there. And that's why the humidity stayed so brutally high yesterday. It hasn't gone anywhere today, hasn't been allowed to go anywhere because of the cloud cover that has been sticking around here. And even though temperatures stayed at 95, we still had enough humidity to make it feel like it was around 105 in the afternoon. And that's pretty much going to be the same situation today. Right now, we are standing at 80 degrees in town. Just to put it in perspective, the average low is 73 right now. 82 Castroville, 81 at Stinson, upper 70s Hill Country. And some of these numbers, 78, 77 at Castroville, Randolph, 78 Dew Point at Hondo. I don't think a lot of folks have ever seen dew points this high around here. That humidity is just, again, it is like a thick, wet blanket sitting on top of you. So heat index readings right now, it still feels like 90 in Castroville at 4:30 in the morning, 85 in town, 87 at Stinson, as well as in New Braunfels. Heat advisory goes into effect once again today at 1, but this one stays in effect up until 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. And I would venture a guess that there's going to be heat advisories posted then pretty much the rest of the week and then throughout the weekend. 98 high temperature today, but of course it will feel like it's well into the hundreds. And yep, we are going to be heating up going into the weekend. Any end in sight. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Max.
Thank you, Mike. All right. So as Mike was saying, anticipate higher temperatures and with that, a rise in demand when it comes to your electricity. ERCOT now issuing a weather watch to stay on top of the power grid status for June 15th all the way to the 21st.
All right, Sarah Costa is here in the studio to show us how we can help ourselves and our fellow Texans, especially over the next few days. It's going to be hot, Sarah.
It's been hot. You know, people are running their ACs. Even here at KSAT, we're just like the rest of the community having issues with the AC. Fixed for now.
Knock on wood for now.
Goodness.
Good.
Hey, but ERCOT, they're asking Texans to monitor grid condition updates through their website. So check this out. Their website shows snapshots of current conditions in the ERCOT system. See that grid there where you see that blue line and purple line? Basically, you don't want that blue line to get too close to that purple line. That would be demand going over capacity. Right now, we are good. It's operating under normal conditions, and there is enough power for current demand for now. The dashboard also breaks down where the power is coming from, including solar and wind power sources. And of course, this can all change if the demand gets too high. So you can also plan ahead to try to reduce energy use and look at this power supply and demand forecast. ERCOT says so far it is not anticipating power outages this summer. And since the days are getting hotter, CPS Energy is also telling everyone to conserve energy. So it's released something called energy conservation levels right on your screen. They're color coded depending on the day and have ways to you can help save energy and bring down your electric bill cost. I ran my AC yesterday at 78 all day in the afternoon. And it was still working and blowing constantly because it was so hot. But we have a full breakdown of what all of those colors mean right now on KSAT.com. Steph.
Thank you, Sarah. An active Amber Alert has been issued for a missing teenager, and police are looking for 14-year-old Jamira Strouder. She has been reported missing in Princeton, Texas, which is just northeast of Dallas. Officers are also looking for a suspect, and that is 34-year-old Lee Carter III. Now, he was last seen driving a 2014 black Mercedes E35 with a Texas license plate RNS 2973. If you know anything about where they could be, you are asked to call Princeton Police. The number should be on your screen. It's 972-736-3901.
Now to the arraignment of the former president, Donald Trump.
Hours after pleading not guilty to 37 criminal counts in the special counsel's classified documents probe, Trump lashed out in a speech falsely claiming he has a right to hold on to those records. And as ABC's Justin Finch has a former president's reaction from Bedminster, New Jersey.
At his private golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, former President Donald Trump blasted the records investigation that made him the first former U.S. president to be charged with federal crimes.
Threatening me with 400 years in prison for possessing my own presidential papers. We witnessed the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country. Very sad thing to watch.
Trump again falsely asserting the Presidential Records Act gives him the right to keep classified documents and maintaining his innocence before an audience of more than 150 people, including major Republican donors. Trump's speech came hours after his arraignment in Miami federal court, where supporters and protesters gathered outside. Trump was largely silent during the hearing. His attorney entered a not guilty plea to 37 criminal counts, including conspiracy and obstruction. Sitting a row behind Trump, special counsel Jack Smith, who led the investigation accusing Trump of illegally retaining classified records at his Mar-a-Lago estate after leaving office, and alleging some were found in a bathroom, a ballroom, and a storage area. Those records said to include U.S. nuclear secrets. If convicted, Trump's charges carry a potential decades-long prison sentence. Experts say he could avoid that with appeals and a 2024 election win.
He would be able to order his attorney general to dismiss the case if he's now the president and the case hasn't gone to trial.
The judge also directing Trump to not discuss the case with witnesses, which likely includes Trump aide Walt Nauta, who's also facing criminal charges in the records probe, including conspiracy to obstruct justice. Justin Finch, ABC News, Bedminster, New Jersey.
Well, back here in Texas, one person dead, 3 more injured this morning after the roof above a boys' gym collapsed. Now, this happened in Friendswood High School. That's near Houston. It all unfolded yesterday. All 4 people injured and that one person killed. They were construction workers on the campus. The collapse happened around 4:30 p.m. yesterday. A man in his 20s pronounced dead at the scene. The 3 injured workers, they were all transported to UTMB Clear Lake. Minor injuries. They're all expected to be okay. There were no students or staff in the area at the time of the collapse. Friendswood ISD says the boys' gym is an existing building that was within a construction site.
The pandemic trend known as the Great Resignation appears to be over. Almost 50 million people quit their jobs in the 2 years after the worst of the pandemic. They cited pressures such as burnout, general job dissatisfaction, or childcare or elder care needs. Experts are now saying the phenomenon is finished. The government reports the number of people quitting their jobs fell by 49,000 in April compared to March, and the quitting rate is essentially back to the 2019 pre-pandemic average.
Well, prosecutors investigating the Rust movie set shooting say they will decide soon whether to refile charges against actor Alec Baldwin. Prosecutors dismissed involuntary manslaughter charges against Baldwin back in April, but said at the time the decision was only temporary. According to the most recent filed motion, they sent the gun and the broken sear to the state's independent expert for further testing. And if it's determined the gun did not malfunction, Baldwin could face charges once again. The filing for the case of Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the film's armorer who was facing involuntary manslaughter charges in connection with the shooting of the cinematographer. Time now just about 4:40, already 80 degrees.
Yes, 4-time Super Bowl champ Terry Bradshaw was in town. Our Larry Ramirez got to meet him. Up next, hear his advice for Spurs hopeful Victor Wembanyama.
That's an awesome interview. I watch Terry almost every Sunday during the football season, and he is entertaining to say the least.
All right. Have him in town, yeah.
I know, I'm upset. I would have gone and said hi. Taking a live look out at the roadways. Well, it's only 4:40 in the morning on a Wednesday. Not too many people in this perspective, 410 in Ingram. But I just saw Steven Cavazos. He is in the building. We're going to check in with him in our next half hour.
And looking out there with live cam. So we know it's June and we know it's summer, but still be prepared for this humidity when you step outside this morning. We're going to be checking in with Mike to see what we can expect for the rest of the day, though, when we come back.
Good morning and welcome Welcome back. All right, 19 players have been invited to the 2023 NBA Draft Green Room per ESPN. And of those 19, that is 19-year-old Victor Wembanyama, the presumed #1 pick on June 22nd. I hate the French announcers because they are so monotonous. Regardless, among other invites, Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, rounding out the top 3. The Green Room is a staging area in front of the draft podium where players, families, and agents, they wait while this man, Adam Silver, calls out a player's name upon getting drafted. Spurs 2022 first-round pick, Jeremy Sohan, he knows all about the Green Room. And in 1970, the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Terry Bradshaw, #1 overall. So what advice does he have for Wemby?
Lower your expectations. Come in, find your reference of peace, and work real hard. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the complaints. Do your job. You're being drafted #1 because you're really good. And you just don't make mistakes with the first pick in the draft. And I hear nothing but great things.
Gotta love Terry Bradshaw. So he was actually in town headlining the Salvation Army's annual luncheon at the University of the Incarnate Word Sky Room. Now, the Salvation Army luncheon, it's a fundraiser. All of the money raised goes to support programs benefiting local families in need. All right, SAFC didn't have much time to rest before playing San Diego Loyal SC. Now, San Antonio, they're drawing El Paso Locomotive SC 2-2. They drew Saturday night. They faced San Diego just 4 days later, 2 matches ago against San Diego. Then, last week, taking on El Paso, SAFC scored within the first 5 minutes of each match. Both times, they walked away with a draw. For most of you, like me, who's not a big soccer fan, a draw is a tie. Also, 0-0, regardless. San Diego will host SAFC tonight, 9 p.m. local time. And talking baseball, yes, baseball's going on. Texas Rangers hosting the Angels last night. Check out the sweet defensive play. Josh Young, top of the second inning, Hunter Renfroe hits one to the ground. Young dives to the left for the ball, gets up, throws Renfroe out at first base. Dude continues to make his case for an all-star nod. And the Angels go on to beat the Rangers, sadly, 7-3 if you're a Rangers fan. Astros, though, the reigning champs, beating the Nats 6-1, picking up a game on the first place Rangers. And in the Texas League, got to talk about those missions. They lost to second favorite name in the league, the Sod Poodles. They did lose 10-2, so we can make jokes.
Yeah, the Sod Poodles are kind of tough.
We got to throw like graphics of the actual
the
mascot. Yeah, the Sod. I want to see the Sod Poodle on there.
It's kind of cute.
Justin Horn did a whole explainer on it. That was way over my head. All right, time now, 4:45, 80 degrees out.
And coming up next, one of the victims of an accused serial rapist who was granted bail in Boston this week talks about his not guilty plea. And welcome back. It's 4:48. One of the victims of the accused serial rapist who was granted bail in Boston this week is speaking to Good Morning America. ABC's Ariel Reshef has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the first accuser in the serial sexual assault case that rocked Boston, sitting down exclusively with ABC News with her mom by her side.
Did you live in fear that this suspect was still out there to terrorize not only you, but other women?
15 years ago, a Boston neighborhood paralyzed by a string of unsolved sexual assaults. Then police say they had a breakthrough. Authorities using investigative genetic genealogy and DNA evidence to charge Matthew Nilo with the crimes. He has pleaded not guilty.
Did you lose hope that they'd ever find the suspect?
Yeah, I mean, after the 5th year, the 6th year, 7th year, 8th. Eventually, I gave up hope. I honestly did.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of this exclusive sit-down interview. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
And looking at the roads with TransSky, looking over at Loop 410 at Ingram North. Things are moving right now. Didn't see a whole lot of problems with some of those other cameras earlier this morning. So I guess now would be a good time to hit the road.
All right, Mike.
Yesterday afternoon was that was tough to be outside.
I was going to say, I don't even think my Jeep, it's 2012, so bear with me. I don't even think my Jeep could really keep up with the heat. I mean, the AC was blasting full. It really wasn't doing anything.
Is there somewhere in the shade you can park it?
Yeah,
here, so
I don't know.
it's not
We didn't
as
have
hot.
Well, I didn't have direct sunshine, so at least my steering wheel wasn't like
On
a stove.
fire.
Yeah.
You know, and anything you can do in your home, pull down the shades, close the drapes, you know, whatever to keep the sun from coming in like that, because it is just really tough. But yeah, we had that cloud cover, which again acted like a blanket that held in all of the humidity, and that was what most folks were seeing. It was mixed in with a little bit, not a whole lot of some smoke out there, but it just kind of just enhanced everything, and it made for a nice looking sunset yesterday once some of those clouds broke up. But boy, oh boy, and those dew points remained just sky high, the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. And we got a lot of clouds hanging around here. We're going to keep a lot of clouds hanging around throughout the day, a very similar situation to yesterday. So we're still at 80 right now, so we still got this wet blanket sitting on top of us, a very thick and heavy wet blanket, if you will. But you know what's interesting is humid air always feels really heavy, but it is actually lighter than dry air, believe it or not. All the little particles in there and all the little elements and molecules are actually lighter than dry air. 75 degrees at the airport right now, 77. These are the dew point temperatures. Normally you'd think these are the air temperatures. This is the kind of the measure of moisture in the atmosphere. Dew point is 79 right now in Hondo. Again, this is tropical rainforest steam bath kind of air. And the problem is these numbers don't drop down all that much. So we keep these dew points well up in the 70s. As a matter of fact, yesterday, it didn't even drop down to 70. It was still up in the 73, 74 degree range, and that's why it was just, I mean, almost hard to walk through. It was like walking through pudding or something, it seems like. And that's going to be the situation for the next couple of days with those dew points remaining very high. So plenty of clouds around this morning. It's not going to let temperatures drop down much at all. We'll see a little bit of sunshine mixed in. And even though we will be still upper 90s, it is going to feel like 105, close to maybe 109 later on today, just because of all that humidity sitting on top of us. And that's going to be the situation, especially down to the southwest. Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, 112, 118 for a heat index in Cotulla. And that's why we do have heat warnings posted, not just heat advisories, well down, going down 35, and then the heat advisories elsewhere. But once again, this is in effect until tomorrow night. So at least for the next basically 36 hours, we do have the heat advisory in effect. Temperatures are only going to start to go up from here, 10 degrees above normal pretty much across the board, and low temperatures will remain well above normal on top of that. Grin and bear it. Yes, indeed. And not really a whole lot of relief in sight. So once again, we do have the heat advisory that goes into effect later on today. Once again, got to point out it is Flag Day today. Yes. So, well, every day you should fly the flag proudly. 100 tomorrow, 103s over the weekend. Long holiday weekend. It's going to be pretty toasty for Father's Day and staying hot going into the short week next week.
Father's Day, always in June, but now triple digits Father's Day. Just stay cool, stay inside.
Put a smile on. Are you guys doing anything fun to celebrate?
Going out to brunch.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Out to brunch, so.
At an indoor
restaurant.
Yeah. Good.
Thanks,
Good plan.
The fear in your face says it all.
Staying indoors, yes.
Thanks, Mike. 453, 80 degrees.
And are you a Beatles fan?
Of course.
Well, up next, Paul McCartney explains how artificial intelligence was used to create a brand new song for the group.
Good morning and welcome back. Well, the Full Monty back on Hulu Plus. This is the craziest part.
I know.
Artificial intelligence composing a brand new Beatles song.
For the latest what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
For one night only, going for the Full Monty.
It was originally supposed to be for one night only, but The Full Monty is back. A new series following up on the lives of the characters from Sheffield, England. The Oscar-nominated movie was about a steelworks shutting down and the effect on a town. Star Robert Carlyle says the series revisits that town 25 years later.
25 years of conservatism, 25 years of austerity, chipped away at these characters' lives, and also the very infrastructure of the country. And you see that the problems that is thrown up in the health service, mental health care, the benefits sector.
All 8 episodes of The Full Monty are out today on Hulu. you can thank AI for giving us a new Beatles song. In an interview with the BBC Tuesday, Paul McCartney said they were able to take an old scratchy demo, extract John Lennon's voice using artificial intelligence, and that gave them a clean enough vocal that they could then remix with instrumentals.
So when we came to make what will be the last Beatles record, we were able to take John's voice and get it pure through this AI.
It'll be released later this year. About halfway into 2023, Billboard says Harry Styles is the touring leader when it comes to ticket sales. His tour earning the most money and selling the most tickets in the last 6 months. Elton John's farewell tour is second. And Boy George and Culture Club have a new tour kicking off this summer, and the iconic singer has a birthday today. He's 62. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
There's a lot to unpack there. Honestly, the AI was crazy, but the most surprising thing to me was that Harry Styles beat out Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember the whole controversy.
Well, I guess it just depends, but he's been, Taylor Swift, went for a short period of time. He's been, touring a little bit longer.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Just jams.
Yeah.
All right, time now, 4:58, 80 degrees.
Well, we could finally see some relief from inflation. Up next on GMSA, why the Fed may hold off on raising interest rates and why economists say it will take some time to see the impact on your personal finances.
Plus, why a refugee living right here in San Antonio worried that she won't have a home to go back to, how you can help through supporting her bakery. We're going to explain.
And a quick look at the roads with TransSky, looking over at I-35 at Topper Line. Things look good right there. And our Stephen Cavazos is in the studio. We're going to be checking with him after the break.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
We have seen a spike in shootings here in San Antonio. At least 3 more shootings overnight just ahead. How one man died after confronting 2 individuals at a local laundromat.
The Federal Reserve is finally thinking about halting another interest rate hike.
I expect inflation to be back to something we all feel very good about, that feels good about by this time next year, maybe a little sooner.
And just ahead, why economists say now is the time to be a smart shopper.
All right, let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. It is only 5 a.m. and it is already 80 degrees. Not a good indication for how warm it's going to get later. We're going to check in with Mike Osterhage in just a few moments. For now, good morning. It is 5:02 this Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. So, nothing but respect. Going for a run 2 days in a row. Are you doing it strategically? Because yesterday we only had double digits.
Well, I think the cloud cover is really what is, inspiring me to run, because I know that won't last. And I know once, the sun comes out, it's going to be really tough. And some people, I remember when Robert Dart used to work here.
Yeah, Detective Dart.
He would like to, he took precautions, but he likes the full-on sun. I'm like, how do you do that? At least I'm about the cloud cover.
That's fair. But Detective Dart, he'll run in 10-degree weather or 110-degree weather.
Yes, just super
no matter
prepared.
what, runners do that. Not my cup of tea. And the one thing, though, with the cloud cover yesterday, that did hold in the humidity. So, yeah, if you were outside, even with the clouds and even in the shade, it was really tough to be out there. Right now, we are holding at 80 degrees, so we are 7 above normal right now. And that bottom number, we don't hardly see. Summer gets very humid, but it's rare to see 75 for a dew point around here, which just means there is so much moisture in the atmosphere right now. 98 high temperature today. So no, it won't be triple digits on the thermometer, but it's definitely going to be feeling like it. The aquifer took a big hit yesterday, down 1.3 feet, and the allergens, everything is on the low side. Too bad temperatures and humidity and everything else are on the low side. We do have a heat index right now. It feels like 85 degrees out at the airport. It feels like 90 right now in Castroville. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. It feels like 90. That's just wrong. Anyway, we do keep a lot of clouds hanging around here today. Mold, pigweed, like I said, grass are all on the low side. And heat advisories go into effect once again at 1 o'clock this afternoon. But this one's issued up until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So it'll be in effect for basically a good 30 hours, 32, 33 hours or so. And I would imagine more advisories are going to be posted after that. So mostly cloudy, very, very warm. Word warm doesn't really even tell the whole story. Partly cloudy, upper 90s, extremely humid today, and it's going to be getting hotter through the weekend into low hundreds, and we are going to be staying on the hot side in the hundreds at least for the first portion of next week. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, good morning, sir. What's going on the highways and byways?
Well, things are a lot better over here, Mike. Thankfully, we're not spotting any major problems out there this early in the morning, but there's still some of the active road work that may be wrapping up in your neck of the woods. So let's take a look around town, show you what you can expect. There's 35 at 37 and 1604 at Meadow Creek. A very quiet start in that area of town, but other places we're starting to see it pick up maybe just a little bit more. 1604 at Marbuck is one of those spots where we tend to see a little bit more of the commute pick up. But other than that, we're not spotting any major issues. There was some flashing lights, pardon me, at 35 near Topperwine. That's some overnight construction, likely part of the NEX project that KSAT has been ongoing for quite a while now. But again, you're not going to see any major slowdowns until the later hour or so. But let's take a look at travel times. If you're heading into the Alamo City this early in the morning, it should be about a 30-minute commute along 37 northbound if you're heading in from Pleasanton. Highway 90, great time to take advantage of those roadways. 30 minutes from Cassville to get to the downtown area, and that arrival from Lytle should be with about 17 minutes along 35 northbound. Let's get a look here at Transcat again, 10 at Crossroads. Quiet start, but we'll keep a close eye on things as the morning does pick up. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. San Antonio police responding not to one, not two, but three different shootings overnight. So take a look. The first happening around 9:30 last night. This is the 700 block of Palo Alto Road, just north of I-35. Police say a man in his 50s had three girls in the vehicle, went inside the store. When he walked out, SAPD said two men with guns tried to rob him. When he refused to give over his property, police say one of the suspects shot the victim 3 times. The man was taken to the hospital at last check in critical condition. The second shooting, this was around midnight, the 2200 block of Dollarhide. That's near Pecan Valley Drive on the southeast side. Police tell us a man showed up to a home, started fighting with a woman and a man out in the front yard. Police say that man that showed up was shot and killed right in the street. The shooter was detained. And the third, this one just before 1 a.m. A couple was cleaning a laundromat when two men were outside eating, making a mess in front of the place. The woman tried to confront them. They slapped her in the face twice. The woman retreated inside. When the man tried to confront the two men, police say they pulled out a gun and shot and killed him. As investigators tell us, the two men ran away. So far, no suspects have been apprehended. All right, well, the trial for a San Antonio man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend back in 2019, the trial is now underway.
Brian Ontiveros is facing a murder charge, and Sarah Costa is here in the studio. And Sarah, if convicted, what happens next?
He's facing up to life in prison, Steph and Max. And, he's accused of murder after investigators say he allegedly broke into his ex-girlfriend's apartment and shot her multiple times, ultimately killing her. She is also the mother of his child. So U.S. Marshals say he fled to Mexico for 3 years. They found him in the border town of Piedras Negras in March of last year. The case received national attention when it was featured in the Investigation Discovery show In Pursuit of John Walsh back in 2021. In the show, relatives say Ontiveros taunted the woman's family after her death and even posted illicit images and videos of her online. So the murder trial taking place in the 144th District Court with proceeding judge Michael Mary, who doesn't allow cameras in his courtroom. Of course, our Erica Hernandez is staying on top of this trial and will bring us the latest on air and online. Max.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, new figures released just yesterday shows inflation now dropping to its lowest level in more than 2 years.
But the pain is still real for consumers, including at the grocery store. And today, as ABC's Lionel Moise reports, the Federal Reserve weighs in on interest rates affecting everything from credit cards to car loans.
This morning, the Federal Reserve is expected to pause its series of interest rate hikes amid new hope that inflation may be on track to return to normal levels. The latest consumer price index shows inflation has been cut in half from last year's peak.
A year ago, inflation was close to 9%. In the month of May, we're back down to 4%. Still too high, but clearly moving in the right direction.
While trending lower, inflation is still at double the target set by the Federal Reserve.
The big question, though, if the Fed does pause in raising interest rates, will we at home even feel a difference?
No, I mean, because this is already embedded in interest rates in the stock market.
Economists say it will take some time to feel the impact. Some positive signs in the latest report: airfare is down 13% in the last year, and gas prices down nearly 20%.
People are paying $3.50 for a gallon of regular unleaded.
Rose slightly last month, but egg prices dropped, the largest monthly decline in more than 70 years.
First thing people want to know is, do I have eggs?
While many focus on food prices, it's housing costs that remain the biggest contributor to inflation, although there are signs that rents are finally coming down.
If things go on the trend that they're going, when can we expect that inflation will be back to normal levels?
Yeah, I expect inflation to be back to something we all feel very good about, the Fed feels good about by this time next year, maybe a little sooner.
Economists say now is the time to be a smart shopper. They say when consumers balk at high prices, businesses sometimes listen. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
All right, time now, 5:10, party 80 degrees.
One of the biggest fears about driving electric vehicles is the range, and just ahead how Toyota claims it will soon be able to let drivers travel 600 miles on a charge.
Wow. All right, taking a live look out of the Alamo City. Like we said, 80 degrees now. I think Mike showed that graphic, 75% humidity. I was gonna say it's gross out there. What can we expect for the rest of the day? What about Father's Day weekend? We're gonna check in with Mike and Steven in just a few moments. Good morning and welcome back. Just over a week after that dam collapse in the southern region of Ukraine, a refugee now living in San Antonio, she's worried she does not have a home to go back to.
Elena Romanko is from the Kherson region, and 10 months ago, she and her children left their homeland to come to the U.S. after her husband was captured by the Russian army. Her mother still lives in the region that is now underwater after that dam collapse. Romanko always dreamed of returning home, but with the ecological impact of the flooding, she fears there will not be a home to go back to.
Everything is like it's destroyed. It will take years to rebuild houses, to rebuild ecosystem, to put electricity.
Romanko has a bakery here, Pashina Pastry. It's off of Hildebrand. She is raising money to help her brother with supplies on the front lines. If you'd like to help, we have details on KSAT.com.
Time now, 5:15, 80 degrees.
And coming up next, why Instagram is adding music and translation to its Notes feature.
I didn't even know it had a Notes feature. All right. Taking a live look out at the roadways. Steven Cavazos is in the building, in the room. We're going to check in with him and Mike in just a few moments.
If we want a more viable future for our kids, we need to find more sustainable ways of doing things. America's plastic makers are investing billions of dollars in new technologies and creating plastic products that are more recyclable, durable, and dependable. Our goal is a cleaner, healthier planet for generations to come. For a better tomorrow, we're focused on making plastics better today.
Panera's new toasted baguette is loaded with fresh details, ripe tomatoes, melted mozzarella, and freshly made green goddess dressing. And when they come together, those details become big. New toasted baguettes from Panera. $1 delivery fee on our app.
Listen, your deodorant just has to work. I use Secret, aluminum free. Just swipe and it lasts all day. Secret helps eliminate odor instead of just masking it. And hours later, I still smell fresh. Secret works. Oh, yes.
All right, good morning, welcome back, and happy Wednesday. Okay, so we know Steph is a triathlete.
No.
Went for a run
Yes.
yesterday.
Not at all.
Did you guys make it out and about?
No.
I was staunch no.
Walking to and from the car.
Yeah, okay. Even then, I think I got a little something.
You know, I actually sat outside. I was doing some work yesterday at the house, and then inside. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to go sit outside when the sun was down a little bit. Had a glass of what do we call it? Sauvignon B now? Sauvignon Blanc, white wine, a little bit, just one glass. And
so in the evening.
It wasn't too bad. Late, it wasn't too bad, but still a little warm.
Yeah.
Still a little bit too warm.
Well, that's the thing. Heat advisories, yesterday it was in effect up until 8 o'clock, meaning it's still going to be staying, very hot up to that point. The other thing, yesterday I was going to take note of when I had to walk across the grocery store parking lot, that little bit of cloud cover, you didn't have that broiler effect coming up at you from the pavement. That helped a little bit, but still, all that trapped in kind of the humidity around here, and so that's why it was so just darn humid all day.
You want to make sure your AC is working too in your car.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, a lot of people may, I think you mentioned this yesterday, trying to beat the heat, right? Getting their errands done a little bit earlier. Thankfully, I don't think there's a lot going on out there. I've been keeping a close eye on the roadways for a little while now, and not spotted any major issues. I know Max said he spotted somebody walking along the bridge on one of these shots, so maybe just getting his steps in a little early. So just make sure that you drive safe and watch out for any pedestrians out on the roadway. Let's take a look here on our map. Not spotting any other issues. As I mentioned, it is a pretty early start, but we do have construction taking place later today. US 90 Medina County. I mentioned this on Tuesday, but the work's going to wrap up on Friday, June 16th, and we still have a few days to go. This starts at 9 in the morning, should wrap at 3 in the afternoon. Single eastbound main lane closure from FM 471 to Metzler Lane. But other than that, looks like we are in the clear at 10 at Crossroads and over there at 10 at Brobant. We have a few more folks out there this early in the morning. But yeah, Mike, too hot to be sitting in the car and just want to make sure everything's working.
The other thing, and we always want to talk about this time of year too, check on your neighbors. If you have elderly neighbors, just check on them. Make sure if the pet's outside, don't leave it outside. Shade, fresh water, metal bowls outside are not a good idea because they just turn into a pot on the stove almost. All right, yesterday things did clear out a little bit in Shirts by about 8:45, just after the sun was going down, when it was a little bit more tolerable to sit outside. Plenty of clouds hanging around here right now, and you see almost that little bit of haze. That's what we had around here yesterday. A lot of folks were saying it was all due to the smoke. Well, there was a little bit that was coming on in here, but it was just mixing with all of that humidity out there and that haze along the horizon, and so that's why it just looked like it did throughout the day yesterday. All cloudy skies throughout the rest of this morning. Temperatures won't go really much of anywhere, and then we will make it up to 90 at noon. Of course, add a good 10 degrees to that, 5-10 degrees or so. And that's what it's going to be feeling like later on this afternoon with those heat index readings that are going to be well up there into the hundreds. And that's what is pretty much all around the area. We are going to be seeing heat index readings, what it will feel like well up into the hundreds. 118 Cotulla. Again, I got to point out heat warning for our extreme southwestern counties, heat advisory in effect, not just till 8 o'clock tonight, but tomorrow night. So just kind of covering for at least about the next 36 hours. And then I think it's pretty much a given that more heat advisories are going to be issued. So this is not going to be ending anytime soon. We've got a few clouds hanging around here right now. There's no big systems headed in our direction. Huge low over the Great Lakes right now, and there's one up to the northwest of us, but everything stays up there to the north. That high is really starting to the foundation of it's just sort of setting in place, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon, and it's going to continue to sit there and push down on us and really help to heat things up quite a bit all the way up through the upper levels of the atmosphere. So that just adds to our temperatures down here. And again, that thing is not going to be moving anytime sooner or even later. So today, 98 high temperature. We will be 5 degrees above normal, but it will feel like well up into the hundreds. Then we go into the next few days, and it just continues to heat up. Brutally hot temperatures with a little less in the way of cloud cover, a little bit less humidity in the afternoon. I mean, it's still going to feel about the same, but is it just, without that extra humidity, it'll be a different kind of a heat, I guess.
Okay, just look for shade.
But again, still dangerously hot.
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. 523, 80 degrees.
So you're winning lotto numbers. Pick 3, 619, Fireball 5, Daily 4, 8412, Fireball 2.
And your cash 5, 3, 17, 21, 29, 35. Here we go. Mega Millions, 8, 10, 19, 44, 47. Big number 4, Megaplier 4. Good luck. We'll be right back.
In today's Tech Bites, a much wider range for electric vehicles. Toyota claims its new battery technology will allow its electric vehicles to travel more than 600 miles between charges. That's nearly double to top mileage available now. Toyota is also planning a full electric lineup by the year 2026. Instagram Notes is getting new features. The short status updates that launched 6 months ago will now support music and translation instead of only text and emojis. Users can include a 30-second song clip as well as a caption. Meta says the updates are designed to help users express themselves. Finally, Paul McCartney says artificial intelligence has helped in the creation of what he's calling the final Beatles record. He says AI extracted John Lennon's voice from an old tape recording. McCartney has not publicly named the song, but he says it will be released later this year. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
So behind the curtain, I tried to figure out the notes thing, and I still can't do it.
Maybe we have to update the app.
I don't know. My phone's pretty updated. I just don't think I'm tech capable at this point.
We'll figure it out.
All right, we got an hour and a half left. Time now, 5:27, 80 degrees.
A big recall on strawberries that have a risk of having hepatitis A. Up next, the brand names you need to check your freezer for.
And here we go. Taco Bell making it easier to run to get those delicious breakfast tacos. We're going to tell you when and where you can pick up. Look at this, new taco Crocs.
And
Steven, what are we thinking? Taco Crocs, yay or nay?
Well, they do match your outfit today. Well, also ahead on GMSA at 6, food can sometimes be the best part of our day. Well, and the worst, the foods in your shopping cart that can make you sick. Coming up.
All right, not only are sunny days ahead in the forecast, but this may be an especially sunny month for Wall Street and U.S. households. But some people don't think so.
I don't think any consumers are really ready to jump up and down and say that, oh boy, you know, the fight against inflation is over. And
we're going to tell you why the Fed may say no more interest rate hikes later today.
And here at home, looking out there with a live cam. Okay, a little bit of improvement there, at least, you know, visually, 79 degrees, but it is humid out there. Be prepared.
All right, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Although if you step outside, it's not too happy a Wednesday. It's wet blanket, to say the least.
Now, there are people that love this kind of weather.
Okay. I'm not one of those people.
You mean the humidity also?
Yeah. Oh, it's good for your skin.
That is true. It is good for your skin. Well, let's step outside and, you know,
get some moisture.
Skin treatment. Yeah. Good.
And step outside and watch the wrinkles just disappear right now. So anyway, it's we got a lot of clouds hanging around here, and those have been basically staying in place ever since yesterday. Of course, we had all that cloud cover, and that just kind of put a lid on things. And, you know, it's like you put something in one of those little Tupperware things, and it's still not cooled down or moisture, and it keeps the moisture in there. That's kind of what the clouds did for us yesterday. So we're still holding at 80, and that number, dew point, is at 75, which is rare to see around here. And we've got dew points all around the area that are just sky high. And so that's why it still feels like 89 degrees right now at Castroville. It's actually gone down 1 degree as far as what it feels like when you step outside. 87 New Braunfels, same thing at Stinson. We do have low amounts of mold, pigweed, and grass in the atmosphere. Heat advisory, once again, another one's been issued. This one, though, is in effect until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And there is a heat warning down there around Cotulla because heat index reading is going to be well above 110 later on today. So temperatures steady this morning, all that humidity out there. And then we make it up to 90 at noon. We're not going to hit 100 here in town. We will have a bit more in the way of cloud cover like yesterday, but extremely high humidity. So it's still going to feel like it's well up into the hundreds. It's going to stay hot. There's really no relief in sight. We'll take a look ahead coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, anything going on the road, Stephen?
No, Mike, thankfully it's pretty chill over here as we take a look around town. 410 at Villa Main and US 90 at Meadow Creek. Maybe getting a little bit busier now that more folks are waking up and maybe taking advantage of some of these quiet roadways. But let's take a look there at 281 at Sprucewood. You could see that, yeah, those lanes aren't too bad north and south. But as these shots are going by pretty fast, you do see that people are actually moving through some of these areas. So just make sure to watch out and pack your patience as the morning commute does get moving. But take a look here at our map. We're not spotting any major slowdowns, red congestion. So if you have to head out in the next few minutes, it should be a perfect opportunity to do so. Maybe get some errands done a little bit earlier to beat the heat. But just take a look at these travel times. It wouldn't be too bad of a drive if you have to head to Alamo City from I-10 westbound from Seguin. We're looking at about 30-minute commute. 87 northbound from Livonia, 33-minute drive time. That's pretty usual. And for our friends down in Floresville, should take you a little less than 30 minutes to get here to the Alamo City. So getting one last look here at TransGuide, a lot busier there at 35, at 37. We'll keep a close eye on the roadways, but as always, make sure that you do the same. Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, from a mess to a murder is how things went outside a local business overnight, according to San Antonio police. Now, they say someone shot and killed a man after he asked that person to clean up after himself. Katrina Weber is live on the northwest side on Gardendale Street near Data Point Drive. And Katrina, have police found the killer?
No, they haven't. In fact, they're looking for two men who they believe were involved in this deadly clash. It happened here outside the Easy Wash, the 24-hour laundromat. You can still see police here right now. And just beyond them, some of the trash that they believe led to all of this trouble. The man who was killed, they tell us, was working inside this business around 12:30 this morning, cleaning the laundromat with a woman. Police say the woman first confronted two men who she saw outside eating and making a mess. They say she initially asked them to clean up after themselves, then went back inside and got the man who she was working with. Police say soon after he went outside to talk to the mess makers, one of them shot and killed him. Those two men then ran away. Now, I was able to talk to a detective about 30 minutes ago, and he told me that at that time they had not made any arrests. They have not found those two men. In fact, he was not even able to offer any sort of description on those suspects who ran away. And so right now they don't have any other information to release about this, and they were not able to offer any information on the man who was killed either. Reporting live on the northwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Another shooting to tell you about this morning. A man now in the hospital after he was shot 3 times outside a store on the city's southeast side late last night.
Alyssa Cole joins us live from the downtown area. And Alyssa, the victim wasn't alone when this happened.
That's exactly right, you all. The victim was with 3 other people when this incident happened on Punto Alto near I-35. Here's what police tell us. They tell us the victim was a man in his 50s. They say he left 3 girls inside of his vehicle while he ran inside of the store. As soon as he walked out, returning to his vehicle, 2 male suspects with guns approached him, attempting to rob him. The victim refused to give up his property, and that's when police say the suspect shot the man 3 times in his torso area. The man was taken to a nearby hospital. At last check, we're told that he's still alive and in critical condition, but we do know detectives are still working to find out who those 2 suspects are. But for now, reporting downtown San Antonio, Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alyssa. All right, yesterday we told you about NEISD, the second largest local school district, approving pay raises for its employees. Now, the #1 largest school district in our area, Northside ISD, announcing that their district also giving out raises.
Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio. And Sarah, we understand that this announcement came out late last night.
Yes, they posted it to their Facebook page during the night beat. And, you know, Northside ISD trustees, they approved a compensation package for this school year that includes a 3% pay increase for all staff. So here's a breakdown of that compensation package. Classroom teachers would see a $2,000 increase, as well as other employee groups on the 23-24 teacher hiring schedule. In addition, trustees also approved a one-time retention payment to employees hired on or before September 1st of 2023 of $1,200 and $2,500 for those in special education or bilingual education. So this compensation package increases the budget by approximately $25 million. NISD Superintendent Dr. John Kraft said, quote, "Our employees are the heart of this organization." He also says they will continue to advocate to state legislators that funding be allocated to further improve employee compensation. Max, Steph.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, the S&P 500 index entering a bull market territory last week. That means that it has hit a 20% rally from its low, which was last October. Basically, if you look at your 401k, you look at your investments, odds are you're in the green.
Well, the NASDAQ is enjoying a long streak of weekly gains, but could this be coming to an end? As CNN's John Lawrence reports, we're going to know more later today if the Federal Reserve Chairman decides to announce another interest rate hike.
This may be an especially sunny month for Wall Street and U.S. households.
We've had more than a year of interest rate hikes, and it does appear as if those dousing of inflation fires, the efforts by the Federal Reserve, do appear to be working.
After announcing numerous increases since March of 2022, the central bank is hinting that it may skip one for June.
The Fed has been administering a kind of medicine in the form of higher interest rates since March of last year. And like a patient that needs to recuperate, I think Federal Reserve officials want to sort of stand back, make some observations about how the economy is handling all of that.
But even if the Fed holds steady, analysts say another increase could come later this summer.
I don't think any consumers are really ready to jump up and down and say that, oh boy, the fight against inflation is over and it's off to the races with spending.
The Fed's 10 consecutive interest rate hikes have also played a factor with the U.S. job market, bringing an end to the so-called Great Resignation when almost 50 million people quit their jobs in the 2 years following the pandemic. The government reports the number of people leaving their jobs dropped by 49,000 in April compared to March. And the so-called quitting rate is essentially back to the pre-pandemic average. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And another big metric that we expect to learn this morning, we're going to be covering it at 9 a.m., the Producer Price Index, basically what producers have to pay to make sure that us consumers can pay reasonable fees.
Look forward to that at 9 o'clock.
Time now 5:40, 79 degrees.
A recall on products containing strawberries due to a risk of hepatitis A. Up next, we're going to tell you which brands are affected and the grocery stores that they were sent to.
And obviously, it is hot outside, so you know how you can keep your feet cool? We got Taco Crocs. We're going to tell you about Taco Bell's latest venture into the fashion world.
How fashionable.
You like Crocs though, right?
I do, but not those.
I don't even know if those are really Crocs. Those more looked like slides.
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe they're branded that way. We'll check it out later after the break. But for now, looking out there with Live Cam, be prepared for that humidity. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. A fruit company based in Oregon voluntarily recalling several of their frozen food that contains strawberries. All right, so Willamette Valley Fruit Company says the strawberries that were grown in Mexico could be contaminated with hepatitis A. The company is recalling the following products out of an abundance of caution. They included Great Valley sliced strawberries, Great Valley mixed fruit, Great Valley antioxidant blend. The products were sold at Walmart, Costco, and H-E-B. So far, no reports of anyone getting sick.
And the hottest in summer footwear is here. It is brought to you by Crocs and Taco Bell. So the shoes sport Taco Bell's iconic logo, and the Taco Bell Crocs will go on sale June 28th. Mark your calendars exclusively on crocs.com for $60. And I was kind of looking at this. You're right. These are actually, yes, they're made by Crocs, but they're slides. You're correct on that.
Socks and slides. It's the way to go. Is $60 a lot or a little? I don't even know.
For Crocs, that's what you expect, especially because they're new and they have the little Taco Bell sign. So that's about right.
Branded. Love it. All right, time now. 5:45, 79 degrees.
And guess who's next?
Aww.
It's this precious little pet here. We're going to check in with the Animal Defense League coming up.
Well, Nadi's here from the Animal Defense League, and a cute little kitten who is, I love the name.
His name is Ranch, and he's about 2 months, and he's a medium little,
just
short hair.
Medium hair, short. And he has got the greatest look on his face. I love how the white hair is kind of the little wisps go into the black hair like that, and you got some little white markings on your face, and the white eyebrows and white whiskers.
Yeah,
he is just
so
adorable.
Cute.
Yes. Oh my goodness gracious. Hi, little guy. Are you all kitty? And the most beautiful olive green eyes. What y'all got going on?
So we have a lot going on. This month of June is our birthday celebration. So ADL girl turns 89 years old, and it's a big party. We're gonna have a celebration at our Paul Jolly Adoption Center on June 17th. And as you know, for the month of June, Cocktails for a Cause with our friends at Bombay Bicycle Club.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And you can also celebrate by maybe adopting a little puppy or a kitten, or helping out, or sending them a present, something from the Amazon wish list too.
For sure. We'll need volunteers that day, and we'll have our friend Sadie from Ghetto. She'll be there to take pictures with our partygoers.
Okay, well, if you'd like more information about the big birthday party celebration, or to adopt a little ranch right here, head on over to 1130 Nacogdoches, is the main campus, Paul Jolly Center, or PetSmart, and give them a call, 655-1481, or adltexas.org. Thank you, dear.
All right, 10 till 6, let's get a look at the roadways. 35 at San Pedro and 35 at 37. We're really seeing a lot more folks out there as we inch closer to 6 a.m. and we're going to see a little bit more problems. This is the latest one that popped up here at State Highway 151 eastbound at Petrenko Road. We do have a little bit of yellow, which indicates we're seeing some congestion due to this crash. Unfortunately, it's in one of those spots where I don't think our TransGuide cameras are going to be able to reach, so we could show you the conditions, but we're going to keep a very close eye on that right there on our map. You could see that, it's not a good place for drivers, but let's hope everyone's doing okay. Wide look of the map does show some relief out on the roadways. It looks like there may be a crash somewhere off Leon Valley. We'll find out how that's impacting the commute, but it doesn't appear to be on the main lanes. Other than that, guys, things have been moving along just fine as we get closer to 6 a.m., but we got to keep an eye on that crash at 151, and hopefully we'll have a better update soon.
All right. I'm surprised there's not more people out and about trying to beat the heat this morning.
Well, because it's already hot.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's almost like there's no beating the heat in this situation. All right, here's that Climate Prediction Center, the long range outlook just past our 7-day forecast, and still it's keeping us on the odds of being on the dry side are better than 50-50 as far as below normal precipitation, and that's pretty much going to be sticking around then going into virtually the end of the month. And as far as temperatures, I don't know if you can see it too well, but here's this reddish area, and there's another step up of the red sitting on top of the entire state. So that's next week, and then even going into the end of the month, nothing really changes as far as the long range forecast. I don't know if hanging upside down helps when you're eating, but perhaps that helps you beat the heat. If you're hanging from a tree, it's a great picture right there. So he's doing something to try and keep cool. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. A lot of clouds hanging around here this morning, and that was pretty much a carryover from yesterday. That's why temperatures were held down. We had that cloud cover, sort of that wet, heavy blanket sitting on top of us, it felt like, and that not only held the humidity in and obviously prevented us from getting up to close to 100. We stayed in the mid-90s, but then also that little bit of smoke was held down here at the surface as well, mixed in with some of that humidity, and that's why it looked smokier than it actually was. It was just a lot of that haze out there. We will see some sunshine mixed in with a fair amount of clouds again today, that hazy look with all the humidity, and we'll make it up to 98 later on this afternoon. And it is going to be feeling, though, like it's well up into the hundreds later on today. Again, got to point out down to the southwest, especially down there around the Eagle Pass and Carrizo Springs, heat index readings above 110. What it feels like to your body. And this is basically just a measure of how well or how inefficiently your body can cool itself. There's no place for your heat to go. And so that's why we do have the heat advisories and heat warnings. This is in effect, by the way, goes into effect at 1 up until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And I think a lot more are going to be posted after that. Around the country, again, not anything to bring about any changes for us. A couple of big areas of low pressure on the bookends up to the northwest and northeast, but not coming anywhere. Nothing's coming in our direction except for a lot more in the way of heat. So today, 98, 100 tomorrow. We'll still have humidity. That will less in the way of clouds, allowing temperatures to really heat up. So humidity will drop some in the afternoon, but obviously, no matter how you slice it, it's still going to feel very hot, and that's all the way through Father's Day, the long holiday weekend, and going into next week. Basically, not much relief, if any, in sight. We'll be back.
Morning, coming up here on GMA, the latest on President Trump's appearance in court. He was defiant at a rally overnight after pleading not guilty in Miami. Our Rachel Scott was inside the courtroom, and we'll have the latest. Also an ABC News exclusive with the first accuser of the alleged Boston serial sexual assault suspect. Her and her mother sitting down to tell her story for the first time. That and so much more coming up right here on GMA.
All right, the city getting ready to celebrate 4th of July at Woodlawn Lake Park, the free event put on by San Antonio Parks Foundation. The fun will pretty much be had all day long. Look at the day's events, what you need to bring with you, what you can't bring with you. Just head to KSAT.com, click on the story. There's a lot more to head here on GMSA in our next hour. Northside teachers and staff getting a pay raise. We're going to look at how much and who is eligible for the payments just a day after we talked about NEISD's pay raise. Plus, summer heat means more people using air conditioning. Why ERCOT now worried about the state's power grid and potential of blackouts across the Lone Star State. And up next, a violent night here in San Antonio. Multiple shootings that we have been monitoring for the last few hours. We're going to get you caught up on everything that's happened and where. Plus, what you need to know on the roadways and in the weather. We're going to check in with Mike and Steven in just a few moments.